Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we're going to do the full review for the Samsung Galaxy S Duos 2. I've already done the unboxing and made some other videos regarding this S Duos 2, so you can check out the links, they'll be in the description. And this S Duos 2 is the successor to the original Galaxy S Duos. And this one sports a dual core processor that's clocked at 1.2 GHz. It sports the same 4-inch screen, and I have to say, for the budget oriented price of this phone, the screen quality that Samsung has put is actually pretty good. As you can see, the viewing angles are okay, they're pretty decent, and the screen panel is also actually very good. So regarding the screen, Samsung has done a good job, but again, you do not have the auto brightness sensor, so you need to use the manually set the brightness. And before I proceed, let me give you a physical overview of this phone. On the top we have this 3.5mm headphone jack. This is not a metal, this is just plastic, and on this end we have the power on off button, and this is the micro SD card slot. You can just open this to put in the micro SD card. You don't have to open the back cover. And moving towards the bottom, we have the microphone, and this is the micro USB charging port. And on this end, we just have the volume rocker and this opening for the lanyard. Moving towards the back, we have a 5 megapixel camera. This can also shoot video up to 720p HD. We have a LED flash, opening for the speakers, Samsung branding, and nothing else. Moving towards the front, we also do get a front-facing camera, but that's just a VGA camera. We also have the proximity sensor on this one, and we have the earpiece, and the voice call quality that I got was decent. Again, as it's a dual SIM Android phone, it just says Duos over here. And let me open the back cover. The back cover can be opened. You can just pry it open like this, and the battery is a 1500 milliampere battery, and it accepts a normal SIM. Actually, two SIMs are inserted, one goes over the other, and I tested it with two SIMs, and I would say the battery life is okay-ish. I was able to get 1 day's worth of battery life with casual to medium usage. So that's for the physical overview, and it runs the Android, and it comes with the Samsung's own TouchWiz interface that we have seen. And for the most part, I would say the phone performs a little bit okay, but here and there I do notice a little bit of lag. And if you notice, when I just move around, yes, the animation is smooth, but I think so Samsung has intentionally slowed down the animation so that you do not see any lag. But again, I do feel that the animations are a little bit slow here. One more thing that I did notice is that the RAM on this S Duos 2 is just 768 MB, and sometimes when I was using heavy apps, and if you notice, this is the weather widget. This weather widget would come after 3-4 seconds. So definitely the RAM is a little bit less on this phone. And let me show you the Android version that we get with this one. And if we just go to about the device, and as you can see, it runs the Android version 4.2.2, that is Jelly Bean out of the box. Regarding the storage, it has 4 GB of internal storage, but out of that you just get about 1.95 GB. But the thing is that, as I told you, you can add a micro SD card here. I added an 8 GB micro SD card, and I would say some of the apps can be moved to the micro SD card. Not all of the apps, do note that. Let me show you the same. Let's go to application manager. Here I was able to move some of the apps to the micro SD card. For example, let's say let's see this Riptide GP2 game. As you can see, this game is 57 MB, but I was able to move most of the game to the, that is 54 MB, to the SD card. And you do get an option here, move to SD card. For example, let's move one of the apps. Let's try to move this Temple Run 2. Again, do note that not every app can be moved, so you need to be careful with this. Only apps that say that move to SD card can be moved, and again, not the entire app can be moved, only part of it can be moved. For example, let's move this Temple Run 2 to the SD card, and now it's moving this to the SD card. So it's a half-baked solution like we get on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Not all apps can be directly installed on the micro SD card, but yes, some of the apps can be moved, and that's a good thing, because out of the box you just get about 1.95 GB of internal storage. So as you can see, that app has been moved to the SD card. So again, as you can see, I have quite a bit of apps installed, and still I have about 505 MB of internal storage free. So that was for the storage. So I would say nothing great, but yes, it's a good thing that Samsung is allowing some of the apps to be moved to the micro SD card. And regarding the GPU on this, it uses a Broadcom based GPU. I've already made a dedicated video regarding gaming, and I would say it can do casual and mid-range gamings without any issues, but high-end gamings can have some issues. For example, Asphalt 7 could run on this, but it had some graphic glitches. I would say that have a look at my gaming video that I made for this S-Duos 2 to get more info regarding gaming. Coming to multi-touch points, here I was a little bit disappointed. It could register just 2 multi-touch points. And another good thing is that regarding sensors, Samsung did not skimp a lot. The compass sensor works actually pretty decently on this S-Duos 2. Now, regarding web browsing, as we are connected to my Wi-Fi connection, by default you get both the browsers, that is Chrome as well as the old stock web browser. And I would say for web browsing, use this old browser because, for example, let's go to our website, that's techtubas.com. And as you can see, it's loading quickly. Let me just lower the brightness a little bit. And it loaded it fairly quickly. And as you can see, the pinch to zoom is actually fairly responsive on this old web browser. But when I try it with some other web browser, for example, let me just go back to the home page. And as you can see, it's loading it pretty fine and fast. And the pinch to zoom gesture is also fairly responsive. Not the most responsive, but does a decent job. But when I tried the same with the Chrome web browser, it is really choppy. And again, as you can see, it's loading the Tech2Buzz website. And when I try the pinch to zoom gesture, it takes quite a while to respond. So I noticed that the old browser works very well, but not this Chrome. And for example, I also tried, for example, you saw that widget, it took some time to come. That's due to limited amount of RAM. Firefox browser also does not perform as well as I expected. And occasionally I do notice a little bit of lag on this phone. Again, I attribute that to the low RAM, and I would say that frequently I had to press this home button and kill all the running apps. Then the phone becomes actually pretty responsive. But heavy multitasking, you will notice some lag on this device. Now coming to the pricing, again, this is an entry-level phone and the pricing reflects that. As you can see, the pricing on the box is quoted as 11,230, but I've seen this phone in local stores for around 10,500 to 10,200 or so. That's around 175 US dollars. And for that, you're getting a very good screen quality. I would say the screen quality is actually very good on this one. And yeah, the phone does exhibit a little bit of lag here and there, but for the most part, I would say it performs okay-ish. Now let me also show you the free RAM. As I told you, the RAM is just 768 MB, and I'll kill all the apps as you've seen. Let's go to the task manager and I'll free up all the memory. Let's clear it. And now again, let's open up this Android system info. And as you can see, out of that 768 MB of RAM, you just get about 206 MB of RAM free when you close all the apps. It generally dips to around 100 MB or so when you are actually using the phone. So yes, with heavy multitasking, as I mentioned, you might notice a little bit of stuttering here and there, but it's not like the phone does not work. It works fine. Regarding the camera is a 5 megapixel shooter, and I'll actually make a dedicated video regarding this. The good thing is that you see this new interface that we have started to see with the Samsung Galaxy S4, and it's actually really easy to change modes, and you do get a lot of modes on this S-Duos 2. I didn't expect that Samsung would provide so many modes, but you do get a lot of modes, and I did quite a bit of testing in the auto mode. The good thing is that you do get this tap to focus, but it does take some time to focus. But after it does focus, you can just hit the shutter button and it quickly takes the snap. Let me look at the photograph that we took right now. And again, you saw that delay. Indoors, I noticed that the pictures come out to be a little bit grainy and there is a little bit noise, but outdoors it does a decent job. I'll be making a dedicated video regarding the camera performance of this phone in a few days, so you can check out that for more info. Regarding the front facing camera, I would say I tested it with Skype and it worked fine. It's just a VGA camera, but the Skype video call was decent enough. Regarding media playback, also I tried it with MX Player and I was able to play 720p videos also. Let's search for our own channel. That's Geeky Ranji, G-E-E-K-Y. This is the keyboard that you get. This is a standard keyboard that we get with most of the Samsung phones, and that's the same with this one also. So let's search for my own videos and let's open up one of the videos and let's watch it.
Hi there, this
is the video, and again, if you notice, actually the screen quality is pretty decent for the price, and it could play YouTube videos without any issues. And as you can see, it works fine. So that's for the video playback. I also tested it with MX Player, as I mentioned, and I could play videos up to 720p HD. So let me kill all these apps that are running. It also has Google Now, and that also works fine. Another thing I noticed is that the speakerphone quality is actually pretty decent, and it's actually pretty loud. Also, I did notice some applications here and there crashing, not every time. For example, let's try this. Earlier, the Google Now was working perfectly fine, but let me try again. What's the height of Mount Everest? As you can see, I'm getting an error. It might work fine again after I reboot. I'll just update that in the show notes. So this is the Samsung Galaxy S Duos 2. Compared to the original Galaxy S Duos, I would say it lags a lot less. The original Galaxy S Duos used to lag a lot, but I would say that this S Duos 2 also is not completely lag free. I did notice a little bit of stuttering here and there, and particularly while heavily multitasking, you see a little bit of lag, so you need to kill applications for smooth operations of this phone. So how do I rate this S Duos 2? For the price, it's just launched and it's priced around 10,500 or so, but quickly, as we know, it should fall down to around below 10,000, and for that price, and if you are at a very tight budget, you're getting a good screen and a good camera, decent in daylight. So it's decent in that, but yes, it has some flaws as I mentioned earlier. But I would strongly say that if you can extend your budget to around 12,000 or so, have a look at the Sony Xperia M or the Samsung Galaxy Core, which are actually much better device compared to this Galaxy S Duos 2. I hope that you found this video review helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.